Hello, I'm making this video um, after seeing a video, a report, a post on Instagram that says the tectonic plate, the Pacific Ocean's tectonic plate, has seen certain gaps, certain um, signs of it going through changes. And the Pacific plate has been regarded the largest, one of the oldest. Um, I have been talking about how movementless yoga has been helping heal the fabric of time-space. Now, all kinds of questions, debates, what's the proof of it, and many kinds of thought lines. But Andromeda Galaxy is said to be in different stages of merging with Milky Way Galaxy. That's from what the news I've heard of. Now, however it may be, there are cosmic, rheumatic, telluric, miasmic concerns by which ancients also have described causes for diseases or why health challenges show up. And in light of the news of Andromeda Galaxy being different stages of merging with Milky Way Galaxy, that will be a cosmic concern. A cause and an event such as that has an effect on the air, earth, water, fire, spirit space. Air, at least, let's just say, a compression, so to speak, air pressure. And then we are hearing about volcanoes, earthquake. How do you know that the tectonic plate is not showing those spaces, movements, or certain changes in the composition because of the pressure, compression from this cosmic event? There are people from the autism spectrum group of social influencers or who are making content who have been talking about this behavior called decompression in movementless yoga. Okay, so during the 2 years of the pandemic, I'm kind of going back and forth. Kindly bear with me. I'm trying to get a point across, and I'm doing this extempore. And due to a certain reason, you'll come to see as I speak. During the 2 years of the pandemic, I was healing my own body so that my body is not getting affected by the tiny virus who was causing breathing concerns, and consequently, to the point that some people would form fibrosis, yeah, in their lungs, and that's a respiratory concern, and different physiological changes. Several people couldn't be on the side of life. Now, so we have reference to COVID too, and we are in different stages of recovering from those influences, from the COVID influence. And we are hearing about, and we have heard about volcanoes, earthquakes, different natural phenomenon. And we have health, wealth, wisdom concerns. Humans across different parts of the globe, living different lives, different vocations, figuring out how to have everybody, in one way or the other, do better than how we are. And we have cosmic, miasmic, rheumatic, telluric concerns. During the days of the pandemic, what I was doing in maintaining being healthy, alive, mostly, yeah, and then being healthy enough to talk about my work online, offline to different people whosoever would listen, because my clinical health facilitation work, which then over time became also my own personal practice. Like, this is what I do in my clinical practice. So I might as well just do this while I'm going about my everyday activities because it is a healthy way of living. It's a humane way of living. And then it's the same person who facilitates health clinically. So I'm basically practicing, whether or not there's another person with whom I practice or not. I am being a better practitioner by how I practice my own clinical work. And then when I'm working with, say, a person sitting in front of me, or with a group of people, or with the person who's on the table for the therapeutic work, there are consequently those different, it's the same thing. It's basically the same thing that I'm doing in different modalities, one with touch, one without touch, uh, one words, one no words. So different ways of facilitating health, original human intelligence. And a lot of people don't know about this way of living, this way of maintaining health, facilitating health. And I noticed that what I'm doing, when I notice, say, they were talking about, say, one strain of COVID or another strain of COVID, they used to call that as waves. And I would notice that when I did what now I call as movementless yoga or healthy and natural breathing, the strain of COVID or the lockdown that was happening because of a strain, the lockdowns were lifting. I notice it once, I notice it twice, I notice it thrice. Once, okay, yeah, it's there. Twice, you say, okay, coincidence. Third, you got to kind of pause and think, this is not just an accident. I would be a fool to just take that as just another coincidence because thrice is not, I mean, you would think thrice is enemy in action, but this is not enemy in action. This is something that I'm in some way related with. And you got to more carefully look at, is this true or how much am I in my own head? So over time, I discovered there is something that I'm doing that is making life better, health improving. There are there are several things that are showing up, and I noticed, is this what's also happening in the clinical practice? Because I notice different kinds of influences in their lives. They turn out to be entrepreneurs or very interesting dynamics. What they were thinking about, what they were talking. Yeah, I was thinking all that from my work, and I had to kind of, you observe something and then you pay attention to closely. So I was saying, seeing me just as a person, me doing therapy for myself, so to speak, is showing up this way. So something's happening. Lockdowns were lifting, which means I, as a person, was influencing the fabric of time space, healing the fabric of time space, such that lockdowns lifting and normal life resuming. And then I had to see what is it I'm doing, what is it I'm not doing too much of, too little of, and what not to do and what better to do. So over time, I figured out my income came down. Yeah, from during the pandemic, in person, social mandate, social distancing, and all of those things. I took my work mostly online. My income was coming down because I was more in research and development. What in the world is happening? Why am I all saying all of this now? The Pacific tectonic plate. What if it's showing pressure influences? And the autism spectrum people, what if what they're doing as decompression is from the human body system, decompressing the pressure from air such that it is not oppressive, but more enlightening, not lightweight. And it takes some sensitivity, sense and sensibilities. Yeah. But how do you know that that's not in some way also turning around the health situation? Um, and there is a how to do it. Also, the food habits we have. There are several factors, and in what I've been calling as movementless yoga, there are several other factors. For example, improving metabolism, and there are certain practices by which to improve metabolism, such that like a tree converts carbon dioxide to oxygen, life and living substance. A human body can and live in life so that there are healthy sperm and beautiful creations, artwork, thought lines, a, a mind is more functioning because cosmic, miasmic, rheumatic, telluric effects from our human body's morphic resonance field. There is this idea of Rupert Sheldrake. He spoke about the morphic. He discovered. He spoke. He has been on the morphic resonance field. And each of us humans, when we do the right things, when we are doing the required healthy natural things, and there is the what to, what better to do, what not to do, how to do it. So there is all the research, the work that I've been doing. So I kind of teach. I teach movementless yoga. When we're doing the right way, how do we know we're not going to turn around? Milky Way galaxies pressure, peer pressure from Andromeda Galaxy, and that our galactic brothers and sisters are going to have another think on how better to live cooperatively and have humanity across boundaries or galaxies across boundaries or circles of influence, circles of love. And love heals wounds over time. Make ends meet. Milky Way galaxy has arms. How do you know that the arms are not going to, join hands and we'll have, you know, um, galaxies more humane across boundaries, and we'll all do healthier, wealthier, wiser. So you would think fantastic, but we have these thought lines. We also have these experiences on Earth. How do you know it's not just going to, across boundaries, across spheres of influence, what we can think, what we can't think about, one universe with another universe, going to join hands, and we all can be happy. Balls, particles, and vehicles, all related. Yeah. And the Pacific tectonic plate can use some human support. Yeah. In us decompressing and then having more healthy, wealthy wise. Less pressure, stress, for example. When our body experiences stress, our bones get a little creaky. Yeah, osteoporosis, those kinds of things. That could also be coming from eustress or distress. Yeah, good stress or bad stress. And then we can decompress a little bit. Yeah, for example, when you notice a little stress and strain, if you can just pay attention to warmth, softness, and moisture of different parts of your body, at least to begin with, it will help at least you be aware that there is some pressure effect. And maybe from the air, from around, tension, wheresoever. If you're noticing some pressure, tension, just notice the warmth, softness, and moisture of those different parts of your body where you're experiencing a little bit of stress, strain, tension, and pay attention to sense of relaxation in and around that area. And that will help slowly to at least you rest enough such that that pressure, tension is a little relieving. And that in itself helps a little bit to decompress. And that will help you live a little longer without the stress tension. So we may have to do a little bit of lifestyle modifications or adjustments on how we work, how we move, but it'll help us all. Yeah, in our own ways, and also the planet and the multiverse and Milky Way galaxy and all kinds of relationships that we are all part of, microcosm, macrocosm. We're all related in many ways. So I hope this gives you pause for thought. I will speak further on this, but I thought it was important to at least convey this message for further consideration. Thank you so much for your kind interest. There.